everybody, my name is Megan, you're watching Miss Megan Knits, and I have a different kind of video for you today. I've been thinking a lot about the holidays and crafting and gifts and all that stuff, and I kind of wanted to share with the internet at large what my opinions are about holiday gift crafting. Give you something to chew on in your brain, think about this holiday season, as many people are frantically trying to knit and crochet and weave and loom knit and sew presents for everybody. So I'm going to start with a little bit of a disclaimer. Everything I say is just my opinion. There's no research, there's no science, it's just what I've learned over my experience in the years. I'm a crafter. I want to do what's best for me, my health, my crafting, my friends, my family. But every situation, every person, every life is different. So if you have a different way of doing things and you like it and you're happy and you're not in pain and everything's going well, then more power to you. I wish you all the best. But this is my kind of crafting holiday story and what I've come to realize. The holiday season, fast approaching. Crafters everywhere planning gifts for everyone they love. Now I've only been a knitter for a couple of years. But I have been knitting a lot since I started knitting. Well, it's not true. I started knitting at age 9, but I only did garter stitch scarves, and then I learned the purl stitch, and I did like seed stitch scarves until maybe I was 16 or so. No, after 16, 17 or so. I'm 21 now, if that's a reference, so not that many years. And I've learned a lot over this short period of time, because I knit a lot. Everybody's planning gifts. A couple years ago, that was me. I was in that same boat with everybody. I wanted everyone in my family to have both a pair of socks and a special hand-knitted object for Christmas. That didn't happen because I was a young knitter. I had just learned how to do socks. I don't know how I thought I could crank out, a pair for my mom, for my dad, for my brother, all in 1 year, as well as make other gifts for them. I don't know how I thought I could do it. I just couldn't knit that fast yet. I couldn't knit that well yet. That wasn't in my abilities as a young knitter. I encountered several issues with this. Number one, I actually now had a bunch of sock yarn that was in my stash and it languished. Two, I felt bad for not getting the socks done. Now my family didn't know or care about any of this. I mean, they got presents and love and we spent the holidays together and it was wonderful, but I felt bad for not getting those socks done. Another problem, while trying to make everyone in my life a handmade gift, I kind of was thinking more about myself than I was thinking about them. A lot of people didn't really want a handmade gift. They didn't need any of the objects I was making for them. They didn't appreciate it when they got it because they didn't want or need these things in the first place. And the things I made were never worn and never used, and they now sit in the hall closet gathering dust. The last thing, I had a Christmas countdown on my mind until Christmas as I'm rushing to knit, and it caused me a lot of stress. I was frazzled, I was knitting as fast as I could, trying to make the stitches fly by. So, the next year, did I learn my lesson? Of course I did not. I was trying to make crafts for everyone for every holiday the next year, for birthdays, for Mother's Day, for Father's Day, for Christmas, for everything. And I was so stressed. Even though I was actually ahead of schedule most of the time, I felt like I was behind because there was always another birthday, there was always another holiday, there was always another occasion happening. Now I did eventually realize I needed to change. What made me realize I needed to change? Well, it was when my wrists started to hurt. It hurt to knit, it hurt to not knit, and at that time I was working on a shawl that I really wanted to give somebody when they came over for a visit because they live far away. I knit as fast as I could. I was trying to actually outrun the pain in my wrists by knitting quicker so that I could finish faster and be done. But eventually, actually in the middle of a row, it was a Stormy Sky shawl I was actually knitting. If you want to see it on my Ravelry page, it's called Jamie's Shawl. In the middle of one of the final rows, my wrist gave out and I couldn't knit anymore. They were done. They had enough. They'd refused. My body was telling me, no, stop, no more. So at that point, I finally took care of myself. I rested, I used support braces, I tried ice, I didn't quite know what was going on, but I was, trying to rest. But it was terrible for me to not be able to craft. I do crafts to exercise my mind, I do crafts to de-stress, I do crafts to help with my anxiety and with my mood management, and not being able to craft was actually devastating to me. And not only that, I had deadlines to meet and there was pressure on me. I ended up going to the doctor. I was terrified she would tell me that I couldn't knit anymore. Instead, she gave me some tips on how to knit safely and productively, which could very well be another video if anybody's interested. I won't go into all of the tips and tricks here, but she also told me I very likely had carpal tunnel in both of my wrists. This was my moment. I needed to take care of my body. I needed to take care of myself. I wasn't happy knitting under so much stress when knitting was supposed to be my way to de-stress. And if I didn't take care of my wrists, they would get progressively worse over time. I knew what I had to do. I got rid of all hard set deadlines in my knitting. I do set small achievable goals on like a weekly basis or a monthly basis to keep me on task, but I don't beat myself up over them. The reason I set goals at all is because when you check something off that to-do list, it makes you feel like you've accomplished something, so that motivates me to knit. However, all the goals I set are well within my reach. They're basically like writing something on your to-do list that you've already done, or something that you're about to do right then, just to check it off and feel good about yourself. And I don't adhere to those goals strictly. If I, come up with another idea or want to knit something else or, have to rest for a while, I don't beat myself up over it. I no longer do holiday gifts. None. No knitted holiday gifts for me. Now, don't get me wrong. I do gifts. I do share my knitting talents with my friends and family. However, instead of trying to rush and make them a gift for a specific date, for Christmas, for Mother's Day, for your birthday, for whatever, I just make things all year round, and when I'm finished, I gift them. So for holidays, I buy gifts, or I give something that I had in my stash of make-ahead stuff. And I think, oh wait, so-and-so might like this. I might do that, but I don't knit specifically for deadlines. I have gifts for people on the needles right now, and it's Christmas time approaching, and if I finish them like the day before Christmas, I'll wrap them up. My loved ones know that if they want something handmade, they can ask. Not for their birthday, not for Christmas, just they can ask for it. And I will get around to it on a timeline that fits me, that suits me, and I don't knit for anyone who is gonna pressure me about time limits. My friends and family understand my system. They're very understanding of it. They might ask about, oh, how's it coming? But they're not gonna be like, when are you gonna finish? When is it gonna be done? I want it now. It's getting cold. Where are my mittens? They're really chill about it. So, my friends and family get handmade gifts. I end up with a lot less stress. I also find that my knitting time is much more relaxing this way, and I end up making much more items for myself. If I'm always focused on the next holiday, the next birthday, the next event, then I don't end up making anything for me, and I like wearing knitted stuff and having knitted stuff too. So this way I have more of a stash of stuff for myself that I've made that I can enjoy. My final takeaway, and I promise this is my final takeaway. Think about your knitting. Are you stressed about deadlines? Are you knitting to the point of injuring yourself? Why? Think about it. A handmade item is indeed a wonderful gift, and given to the right person, it would be appreciated any day of the year. My name is Megan. You've been watching Miss Megan Knits. If you have comments, concerns, questions, leave them below, and do all the YouTube stuff. Subscribe, like, all that nonsense. I will see you in my next video.